Hi, today I'm going to discuss about the last section of Module 6, that is distributed intrusion detection, honeypot, intrusion detection, message exchange format. Then last topic is the password management. So first of all, distributed intrusion detection. It is a single system standard alone in IDS versus distributed IDS. In case we have studied about the intrusion detection formats like statistical anomaly detection and rule-based intrusion detection, the two streams are single system standalone in intrusion detection system. So here we are studying about the distributed intrusion detection. That is more effective to defense. That is more effective to defense against attackers or attacks that has coordination and cooperation among IDs across a network. Different audit record formats. We already studied about audit records and detection specific audit records. In case of detection, specific audit records have specific fields. So in that type of we are using different audit record formats in different collection and analyzing points, confidentiality and individual collected data during transmission, centralized architecture. That means one collection point or decentralized. More than one collection points, we have only one collection point. Then host agent module, that is the new module we are studying in distributed intrusion detection, that is host agent module. That is audit collection module operating at the background, collect data on security related event transmitted to the central manager. Here host agent module that collects data from audit records, and this host agent module give that data to central manager. The LAN means local area network monitor agent module. From here, this is the local unit. Here operates like a agent module. Here, this is the agent module that this gives the information to the host agent module, then it gives to the central manager module. Unless LAN traffic and central manager module is that receives the reports from host agent module, then the process and correlates the reports to detect intrusion. That in host central manager module we have correlates these reports to detect the intrusion. Figure. This is the basic technique happening in intrusion detection. In distributed intrusion detection, that is the LAN monitor. Here is the host. Here this is the agent module, and the router we have is this is one LAN monitor. Then this is the another LAN monitor, and this is the WAN identity network, and the central manager. In central manager, it takes the information from the host agent module and it gives to the central manager that process the reports and detect the intrusion. Next one is the agent architecture. The agent captures each record from native audit collection system. We already studied about audit records and its two specific audit records, native audit records and detection specific audit records. In case of native audit records, we contains both the type of information, that is useful information and non-useful information. So native audit records collect the records. So we have a filter for filtering the useful information. So filter is applied to retain only security records. They are only applied to retain only security records. These records are transmitted to host audit record format. A host audit record, that template driven logic module analyze the records. That template driven logic module that analyze these records, and agent protocol machine. Just two level, lowest level that stand for notable events, and highest level that look for sequence of events, and also look for anomalous behavior based on the profile. We already said about the anomalous behavior depending upon profile certain parameters, and these parameters can be detected to monitor the behavior of certain parameters over a period of time. That's known as the anomalous behavior based on the profile. And if suspicious, and if there's any malicious activity that the suspicious activity is found, an alert is sent to the central manager. May also query agent for copies of HRS. That the figure we can get the information. Here we have OS audit information. That is the native audit records that collect useful and non-useful information, and there is a filter out the useful information, and it gives to the host audit records. In host audit records are certain format, and that given to the templates, formats and logics, and it is given to the agent protocol mission that has mainly two levels, high level, low level, then depending upon the two levels that can be scanned for notable events and look for sequence of events, and then check the anomalous behavior of the profiles. Then if there is any suspicious activity or malicious activities found, then they will give alerts to the central manager. Actually, protocol mission that also give query and response to the central manager. If there's any doubts regarding the system, they also ask questions to the central manager. Then they give response to the agent protocol. That's also have a transmission between the central manager and agent protocol mission. And if there is suspicious activities, malicious activities, they give alert to the central manager. Next one, here we have that's all about the distributed intrusion detection agent architecture or agent implementation. Next one is the honeypot. Honeypot means a honeypot is a DK computer system for tracking hackers or tracking unconventional or new hacking methods. Any unconventional behavior or suspicious activities found can be determined, and any hackers can be determined using honeypot. Honeypots are designed to purposefully engage and deceive hackers and identify malicious activity performed over the internet. That is used to identify the malicious activity performed over the internet. Multiple honeypots can be set on the network to form a honey net. There are two different kinds of honeypots. The first one is the production honeypot and the research honeypot. Production honeypots are mainly used for computers and corporations for the purpose of researching the motives of hackers, as well as diverting and the honeypot diverting and mitigating the risk of attacks on the overall network. In case of research, honeypot means it is a non-profit organization like education systems for the sole purpose of researching the motives and tactics of hacker community for targeting different networks. There are mainly two types of honeypot, that is production honeypot and the research honeypot. Honeypots are not always designed to identify hackers. Honeypot developers are often more interested in getting into the minds of hackers, which then permits them to design more secure systems as well as to educate other professionals about the lessons learned through their efforts. By using honeypots, we can detect the behavior of the attackers. We can gradually studying about the attackers and attacks and attackers, so we can find the by using honeypot we have to determine, or we have to determine that what type of attack may be happen. So by using that we can produce a new system without hacking like that. So honeypot developers are often more interested in getting into the minds of hackers, which then permits them to design more secure systems as well as to educate other professionals about the lessons learned through their efforts. Next one, overall honeypots are considered an effective method to track hacker behavior and heighten the effectiveness of computer security courses. Therefore, honeypot can be used to detect the hackers, and also we have to implement a more secure system by analyzing the behavior of the attackers. Next one is the intrusion detection exchange format, that is intrusion detection message exchange format, IDMEF. The purpose of the intrusion detection message exchange format is to define data formats and exchange procedures of sharing information of the internet of interest to intrusion detection and response systems and to the management system which may need to interact with them. The purpose of the intrusion detection message exchange format, that is IDMEF, is to define the what type of data formats and the procedures used for this intrusion detection message format. That exchange procedures of sharing information is used for in our detection format. That's the IDMEF. It is used in computer security for incidents reporting and exchanging. It is intended for easy automatic processing. So we have certain procedures and formats. We have very easy for exchanging the informations or messages. Is a well-structured object-oriented format which consists of 33 classes containing 108 fields. The classification, the unique login, the date of creation of the alert. There are currently two types of IDMF messages that can be created. That first one is the heartbeat and second one is the alert. Heartbeat means the heartbeats are sent by the analyzers to indicate their status. Means that we have a certain number of systems and they give heartbeats are sent to the in case of distributed decision system we have a central manager, so the systems can be send their status to the central manager about their current situations. If this attack is attacked or the system is ongoing well, so like that the heartbeats are sent by the analyzers to indicate their status. These messages are sent at regular intervals of periods, so we can found the attackers. Is defined in the heartbeat interval field. If none of these messages are received for several periods of time, then we can find that there is an attack. So the next message is the alert. Alert are used to describe an attack that took place. The main areas that create the alerts are create time, detector time, analyze time, source, target, classification, assessment, and additional data. So the main two messages in IDMF is the heartbeat and alert. Heartbeat is the what the status of the system that are connected to a network that are currently messaging to the main sender or central manager. And alerts means if an attack is happened, then they give the information about the attack, their attacking time, like that. That are the two messages of IDMF is the heartbeat and alert. Next section is the password management. What is passwords? We already said about said that the passwords and most common weakness in a company is the weak passwords, uncontrolled device on the network. That means if an uncontrolled device can enter into the network and without any password or weak password, they can be access the system and they can be attack the information. So the password must be strong. So most systems and software have default password. The characteristics of a strong password is that it changes every 45 days. Minimum length of 10 characters, contain at least one alpha, one number, and one special character. Cannot contain dictionary words. Cannot reuse the previous 5 characters. Minimum password age of 10 days. After 5 failed login attempts, password is locked for several hours. This already you have known about the password attempts. We already in mail ID like that. In any site we have need password. So strong password is the main criteria for a good system. Next, how the password management. Password management. Frontline defense against intruders. That's password. Users supplement the login dependence privileges of the user. Password to identify them. Password often stored and encrypted. The main password used is a Unix password that is stored in publicly readable file or password can be can user who was in the system and has to read the profile or passwords. Latest Unix versions split the password file into two files the password files are still exist, contains everything except the encrypted passwords. In password means we can enter a password, so the system can store a value regarding this type of password. So we enter a password, so they compare the password with the previously stored value. If they are correct, then the site is open. Like that, we are entering a strong password for a system. And SALT means the SALT servers have three purposes. Prevents duplicate passwords, effectively increases the length of the password, and prevents the use of hardware implementation of DES. And the vulnerability of password. That means this can be explained in detail. Let us consider a scheme that is widely used on Unix in which passwords are never stored in clear. Each user sets a password of up to 8 printable characters in length. This is converted into 56-bit value. That we already said that the passwords of length are about 8 printable characters of length. So there's a value that can be converted into a 56-bit value that serves as the key input to the encryption routine. So we enter a password with 8 characters, therefore a value of 56 can be stored in the system, so they can be compared with this value. This is the key input to the encryption routine. The encryption routine known as script 3 is based on DSV. Here we are using data encryption standard, so we are using script 3. The DS algorithm is modified using 12-bit salt value. 12-bit salt means we already said that what is salt, they can be used to extend the password length like that. So it can be modified using a 12-bit salt value. This value is related to the time at which the password is assigned to the user. Loading a new password. This is salt 12 bits. This is password of 56 bits. By using DES encryption, it's converted to 11 characters. The DES algorithm is modified using 12-bit salt value. This value is related to the time at which a user. The modified DES algorithm is exercised with the data input consisting of 64-bit block of zeros. The output of the algorithm then serves as the input of the second encryption. The output of the algorithm is the input of the second encryption, and the process is repeated up to 25 encryption, and the resulting 64-bit output is then translated into 11 character sequence. The hashed password is then stored together with a plain text copy of the salt in the password file for the corresponding user ID. This method had been shown to be secure against a variety of cryptanalysis attacks. This is 12-bit salt value. The password of 8-bit character can be converted to 56-bit value. Then using data encryption standard, it is converted to 64-bit, and by analyzing and after encryption, the encrypted word is given to the second encryption. The output of the first encryption is the input of the second encryption, and so on, and up to 25 encryptions. Here we have first encryption, second encryption, third encryption, further up to 25 encryption. Then we have the output of the encryption has a hashed password. Hashed password that can be stored, and the process is repeated for a total of 25 encryption. The statistic for output is then translated to 11 character sequence. The hashed password is then stored together with a plain text copy of the salt and the password for corresponding user ID. Salt, then compare it to this is known as the vulnerability of password. This is more secure, and this method has been shown to be secure against variety of cryptanalysis attackers. Next one is password selection strategies. Password selection strategy includes user education. Unlikely to succeed, many users ignore guidelines, computer-generated passwords, random in nature, problem in memorizing, reactive password checking, system PVDT runs password cracker to find the guessable passwords, cancel guessable passwords and notify users, resource-intensive job, proactive password checking. A user is allowed to choose the password, system checks the password is allowable or not. Next one, password cracking importance. From a security standard point, password cracking can help you to build and maintain a more secure system. Reasons why password cracking is useful. We are checking the password cracking, we have to implement a new system with more security. So that was password cracking is more useful to audit the strength of password, to recover or forget unknown passwords, to migrate users, to use a check and balance the system. Main types of password creating attacks are dictionary attacks, brute force attack, and hybrid attacks. Dictionary attack means the attacking speed is very high. The words of password, the words of passwords are created. For academics attack, passwords with the words that can be cracked or attacked. In brute force attack, the speed of the attack is very low. Find every passwords. Find every passwords are cracked. In hybrid attack, they find only password that attack a dictionary word at the base. The speed of the attack is medium. That's all about module 6. In module 6, we studied about intruders and intrusion techniques, intrusion detection formats, that is statistical anomaly detection, rule-based, then last year, and distributed intrusion detection. Then we studied about Honeypot, intrusion detection, message exchange formats, and last, password management. Thank you.